No, que no se no pa. What up? Hey guys. Oh. Oh, okay. The mic is on. Hold on. Let me mute. I can't find where I am. Okay, guys. Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back, everyone. I'm going to give you guys some time to come in here. We need to talk. Goodness, can I take a break? Can I really take a break? But there is so much happening in the spiritual realm, guys. I got so many messages that have been flooding in over the past 24 hours. To be honest, I should have did a video yesterday, but I said, I need to chill. I need time to chill. But we're going to talk about Charlie Kirk's consciousness, of where I saw of where it is, because something just was not sitting right with this whole thing. And obviously, we saw that he got shot. We saw all of that. But I'm talking about energetically of why his energy is still here. This is what I'm talking about. So I'm going to tell you about some visions that I've had. I've been getting audio messages from Spirit. See, you can fool some people sometime, but you won't be able to fool the spiritual ones. That's all I'm saying. Welcome in, Sister Janice, Sister Sonia. Welcome in. You guys, it's about to get deep. It's about to get really deep. We got to do a little psychic investigation work because something ain't just right. The world is a stage, guys. You have to know this. What we're looking at here is Charlie is a pawn in their game, and it's going to all be laid out. I believe that Source is about to come through and literally just execute this meeting of the spirit minds just so beautifully. Because you and I both know, why is this being broadcasted everywhere? It's because they are using this to attune us to a different frequency. We cannot be fooled in this final hour, guys. So when you come in, put a like on the video and subscribe to the channel, because y'all know, YouTube don't want me to be talking about this kind of stuff. It literally takes subscribers away when I'm speaking too much truth. So please support me, subscribe to the channel, like the video. Sharing is caring, guys. And I'm going to take some time to really ground into these energies. I'm going to play one of the a TikTok which Charlie was talking about Israel. Now, mind you, I did a whole there was 3 videos I did in one day. I think it was Saturday, and the source codes were just coming in. And what did I say? This whole thing is about Israel. I had no idea. I was just pulling the energy, right? And it's interesting because there actually is a some clips about him talking about Israel. And I think this may have been the inciting incident of why all of this kind of went so sour for him. So I'm going to go ahead and play that here really, really quickly. And I'll let some of you guys continue to come in. But there's lots to say. There's a whole nother thing that I need to get into, which Source kind of gave me a lesson about this whole thing. Um, but I think I need to save that for a different video. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, okay, I'm going to play this. Give me 1 second. And then, like always, let me know if you can hear me okay. They're going to try to ethnically cleanse Gaza. Yep. I mean, that's, and I don't use that term lightly, okay? They're talking about basically removing 2.5 million people in there, okay? And honestly, they have a mandate to go seek justice and revenge. They do. This idea that they need to have a truce or a peace treaty, that's morally crap after you see women and children be burned alive and dragged to the streets. But there are some serious questions here, Patrick. And let me tell you, my pattern recognition over the last 5 years has become pretty sharp. COVID, Maui fires, Epstein. When I see a story and it doesn't click, our guts are usually right. So I've been to Israel many times. The whole country's a fortress. When I first heard this story, I still had the same gut instinct that I did initially. I find this very hard to believe. I've been to that Gaza border. You cannot go 10 feet without running into a 19-year-old with an AR-15 or an automatic machine gun that is an IDF soldier. Right? The whole country is surveilled.
And so let me just kind of go through this. We don't talk about Israeli politics very often, and most Americans don't know this. The last 9 months, Israel was on the brink of civil war. It's not an exaggeration. This judicial stuff, there were hundreds of thousands of Israelis taking to the streets because Bibi Netanyahu was basically redefining the Israeli constitution. That's not an exaggeration, right? He said the judicial branch has too much power. There were protests planned this week against Netanyahu, where they anticipated tens of thousands of people to take to the streets. That's all gone, Patrick. Netanyahu now has an emergency government and a mandate to leave. I'm not willing to go so far that saying that Netanyahu knew or there was intelligence here, but I think some questions need to be asked. Was there a stand down order? Was there a stand down order? 6 hours? I don't believe it. Israel's the size of New Jersey. When I took a helicopter ride from Jerusalem to the Gaza border, it's 45 minutes. 6 hours. They're live streaming the killing of Jews. Did somebody in the government say stand down? That is a legitimate, non-conspiracy question. The whole country is the IDF. The whole country is. Yeah. And you're trying to tell me that they're going to concerts and kibbutzes and schools of decoupling to do? Because Jewish donors have been the #1 funding mechanism of radical, open border, neoliberal, quasi-Marxist policies, cultural institutions, and nonprofits. This is a beast created by secular Jews. And now it's coming for Jews, and they're like, what on earth happened? And it's not just the colleges. It's the nonprofits, it's the movies, it's Hollywood, it's all of it. It's like, time for you guys to wake up.
Wait a minute. Did you hear what he said? It's all of it. First, he was with Israel. Let's build. First, he was with Israel in that first clip. And in the second clip, somehow he's come to the realization, because he is very sharp, a little too sharp for his own good. See, sometimes you can't show your hand, and you showed your hand because what they were playing chess and he was playing checkers. Look how good I am in putting the pieces together. Dude, Charlie was getting involved in an investigation. He thought he was helping out, the right. And he's literally messing it up because they're playing a different game. So yes, he's smart as a whip, like he said, but he showed too many of his hands because in a way he wanted to impress, the Trumpians, Trump and his people. He wanted to impress them. And essentially he got in the way. They were in the middle of, like I said, 2 elites fighting, investigations, all of this stuff. And here comes Charlie showing the hand. And he was kind of spot on when he started to talk about Israel, start to talk about some of these things that I've been pulling here, like how he was even talking about the Epstein files, and what it all truly entails. We've been spot on. The past few days, we've been right on the money. He was revealing all of these things, the truth about Israel, how they have their hands in everything, about the genocide going on in Gaza. They want us to get behind that. No, get behind me, Satan. See, when your country and your countrymen co-sign stuff like this, it's an energetic blueprint onto you. You get the karma. You have to know that. You have to know that. And we got to stop this foolishness, because all they want us is just looped up and looped up and looped up. Who's next? Okay. So here's the thing. We're going to get to who killed. We're going to get to, I got the name of the person. We're going to get to what I saw. I want to show you guys something, y'all. You got to stick around for the ride. Like this video, y'all, please, and subscribe to the channel, because what I'm about to reveal. See, men lie, women lie, but spirit can't lie, because spirit is just energy. It can't lie. It just flows. I'm going to tell you what I saw last night. Now, mind you, for the past 3 weeks, mind you, I was even telling a friend of mine, hey, I was pulling that Trump got assassinated, and I was pulling JFK. I literally pulled that, but I never came on here to say something because I'm like, I don't actually see Trump passing away at that point. But what it was, what did I say? Charlie was in his energy field. So essentially, I was seeing this event. It's just that I didn't understand that Charlie would energetically step in for him. So I don't know if JFK got shot in the neck. You guys can let me know that. Where did JFK get shot? Because the thing about it is, I was pulling JFK. Now, I've been seeing dogs and channeling dogs for the last few weeks. And I never channel dogs and see dogs just randomly in my mind's eye. Well, let me tell you what I saw last night. It was very, very I want to say evil. Yeah, it's evil. It was very eerie, but source is saying it's evil. I saw Charlie. Now, mind you, I've been feeling, that's why I posed that question. Is he really gone? Because I feel consciousness, I feel energy. His consciousness somehow is interesting. So last night when I was laying down, I was in that hypnagogic state, almost like that dream state, and I saw an image of Charlie, very, very clear in my mind's eye. And you know those things that they put around those cones that they put around dogs' necks so that they won't pick at their wounds. Like let's say if a dog had surgery or something, they won't pick at their wound. So they'll put this cone thing around the neck and it'll go up like this so the dog's head is kind of separated from the body. Bingo. This is what I saw. I saw that on Charlie. So, what that tells me, his head is separated from his body, consciousness separate from body. Now, this could still just be him in the spirit realm. It very well could be. But I'm getting my spidey senses, and some telling me he might be in the same place they took Michael Jackson to. You guys know last year I start to do this whole series about the underground Hollywood underworld situation. And it's interesting enough, and let me build. We're going to build this. See, let me first, the whole thing about Israel and Gaza and the Ep files. I said he was getting too close. He was excited how smart he was. He was eager to show Trump. And, those kind of people, look how smart I am. Like, I'm going, he wants to be in politics. Maybe even the president, one might say, governor, all of these things. But he was getting in the way, him being too smart figuring that out. See, when Charlie got onto that sort of content, I could get down with it. As before, he was just talking mean about transgenders and people of color and immigrants and black people and all of that. But when he started to switch over to the real issue, is the why we having real problems is these people in power and their false system that they are literally casting their illusionary world onto us to keep us trapped here. I got down with that. I was down with that. So listen here. They're separating his consciousness from his body. I kid you not. Source ain't never lied. I'm going to show you a picture, right? This is automatic writing that I just did while we were sitting here listening to the first video about Charlie. This is what Spirit shows me. Do you see that almost looks like a head up here? And look, that's a neck. When you're automatic writing, guys, you don't know what you're writing. It's only when I look back at it that I can see that it tells a story. This is how I get a lot of my psychic messages. This is his head. His head is swirly. This is energy harvesting at its best. Do you see the X on the neck? What does the X stand for? Well, X marks the spot of where we're going to take a shot at him. And also, X is very important because X is also the oil or blood of the lamb that you put above your door so that when the enemy comes or when the dark forces comes, it will protect your house spiritually. Your house will be protected by God, and then the trouble will pass over you. Passover. Back to Israel. It's multi-layered and multi-dimensional and very esoteric. And this was also too, stop talking, getting shot in the neck, the vocal cords, being cut off from your ability to speak truth. Stop talking, not just for Charlie, but this is a message for us. Stop talking about the lie, the Israel lie. Don't open that door. Don't open those files, those EP files. We need time to AI this stuff, just like they did with Kate Middleton. Some of these videos we've been watching of the incident has, in fact, being produced by AI. So remember, our spiritual eye is what we go off of. Trust no man, no woman. Only trust thyself, right? So you have to know he's being held in bondage. You look at this body, he's curled up in a fetal position. This will be his like bum here, like he's sitting on his legs. Remember, I said his feet was being locked down by some sort of force or entity? He's still showing up the same. 5 days after passing, he's still showing up with his feet being anchored here. But now, if you look, he looks like he's being held hostage. Look at the posture of this. Something around the neck, very much like the dog. The blood is rushing up to the brain. This part is being separated from his body, almost as if they're about to cut here. But look, he's definitely in a position of not of power, but of mercy. That's the first message you have to know, that this this was done on purpose, absolutely. And it was done by the, like I said before, by the very people who he trusted, because he was getting too close to the real. See, they were okay when he was sitting here talking about women and talking about other people, black people, immigrants. They were fine with that because it kept us fighting. So what Charlie, as smart as Charlie is and was, but still is, he didn't understand he was being used. The reason why they let you keep talking and showing up to these events is because they were using you for the great distraction and the great divide. If we're divided here, then we certainly ain't looking up to Israel or to our governments to see what they're doing. But when he got too close to the truth to crumble the lie, then they had to stop the game of checkers that he was playing alongside of their game of chess. They were like, oh, look how cute. He's playing a little game. Let's keep him in that sandbox and keep the youth divided. Keep the youth and keep all these different races divided while we over here play a big man's game. And so he started to catch on intuitively. He didn't know, but this is what his work had led him to. And this is why he's in bondage. And this is why he had that dog, thing on his neck, separating consciousness from body. Now, get this. Then after that, I saw an image of a dog. Mind you, I've been seeing dogs this whole time. And the dog looked at me in this like image. I'm just seeing it right before my eyes. The dog looked at me. At first it was like a brown dog, but then it turned into a black dog. And then this was very important. He looked at me straight with his eyes, and he looked directly into me. This was not the eyes of a dog I was seeing. This was the eyes of a human, because energy just ain't never lied. Energetically, it was the energy of a human. It was the energy of Charlie. That is what I saw and what I felt and what I know. So that's what I have so far. Now, the question is now we would say, is his consciousness inside of a dog? I'm not saying that per se, but what I'm saying is they handled him possibly like a dog. But we can't also rule out that they did not extract consciousness to put into something else, because remember, guys, zone out. Their world is over. The new world, we've already won it. This thing is slated to go. Our new world. So they're trying to, in alignment with our new earth and our new world, in our new energy field, they're trying to build their false new world on top of ours. They've always known that this time would come. And what they're hoping is that, just like an entity, what they can do is to link into our new energy field and to catch a ride, so that they cast their illusionary shadows on top of us once again. Not on my watch, baby. Not on my watch. This is what is going on. You have to know that. They keep us divided. So here's the thing. Then I saw an image of a funeral. And to be honest with you, whose funeral was it? It was Trump's funeral. I'm telling you, Charlie was synced into his energy field. And I'm starting to think, oh boy, Don't start to think, T. Don't start to psychic investigate. Don't. Because what I'm about to say, it gets dark. I'm starting to think that maybe Charlie just wasn't showing I can play the game too. Look at me, pick me, pick me. Look how good I am at this young age. Maybe he wasn't just linked into his energy field as a fan. I'm starting to think it's much more sinister than that. I'm starting to get the vibe that he was linked in to the energy field through quantum manipulation. Trump has always had, there's always been different versions of Trump, always. You can listen back to some of these like activists back in the 80s. They will always tell you that Trump has always, back then he had at least like 3 of him. I think there's more. I think there's more now. I think there's at least 4. So here's the thing. What I'm saying of what I see every single time I'm trying to tap into Charlie's energy. Trump is always there. I'm talking about these 2 fields could not be closer. It's given the vibe that they use Sir, I'm going to call him Sir Charlie. I don't know why. Sir Charlie to be a energetic, what do you call it? A energetic bulletproof vest for Trump. And I know that sounds crazy, but energy don't lie. It has not yet. And could it be possible that Charlie was just so enamored by Trump that he unintentionally moved into his field and now it's kind of co-mingled through quantum entanglement? Yes, that is possible, and we can't rule that out. But it feels deeper. It feels that he was almost becoming Trump's energetic like shield. Like they were using him, he's a pawn to like shield Trump from certain things because Charlie was able to say certain things that I think that the Trump supporters wanted to hear. Because remember, Donald Trump was really good at inciting people, the people that would allow him to allow him to stay in the office. It wasn't. I do not believe that Trump believes all these things that he says, but Trump is smart. Trump plays on the weakness of people. He's a businessman. Businessmen are con men. You have to know that. You have to know that. It's time to wake up. So he uses people to now incite certain things, throw out certain bombs, and they will just unravel all of this for him. And what it does, it propels him higher. So he plays on people like that. Like I said, these are 2 brothers fighting. We go back to the template of Esau and Jacob. It's the same thing playing out. This is what we have. But now what we're looking into is the Esau energy would be the one brother. The Esau is fighting within himself. Charlie spent a lot of time talking about black on black crime and all of this stuff, which typically does not affect in high percentages the white community. A lot of black on black crime is committed black on black crime against other black people, black on black, right? But what's happening is his own house was literally being burnt down to the ground. So what I'm saying is I'm in the Jacob and Esau template. Yes, Jacob and Esau are fighting, still fighting in the womb. However, what we are experiencing in this moment of reflection is Esau, whew, Esau fighting within himself, within his mind. And I think Charlie held some very deep templates into the Esau bloodline. And that's why Charlie, I'm channeling y'all, is all about the mental plane because he always held these codes of Esau. And Esau right now was always going to come to a point in time where it would do a check within itself. And this is what we are experiencing. And I think that we can see it, especially in the youth. I think that a lot of people are checking within themselves and seeing, I don't maybe necessarily think that some of the things my ancestors did was right. This is what we are getting. Esau is having a come to Jesus moment, so to speak, within its own consciousness. And as Esau comes into awareness of itself, right? It's saying there are some things in here that I don't like that I've done to myself, that I've said to myself, or I'm going to go ahead and get rid of the bad habits that I have. And this is why I said two sides of the elites are fighting, because it's a tug of war within the one mind of Esau, half of the coin, right? But peep this, through this cleansing, this is what's going to bring the two brothers into harmony in the womb. So essentially, we can look at Jacob and Esau like white or black. And within that, we have all of the codes, right, of the other nations that we need. So, what we are experiencing, believe it or not, this is one way we come back into wholeness within the one big Akashic soul body that we all share. But until we clear out the closet, until we clear out the lower third, the things that have polluted our world, we can't actually get there. And what we're seeing with Charlie and Trump and Israel and all of the rest is Esau fighting within itself. And I believe that Esau will choose the greater part of itself. Because remember, the lower third, energetically, through this karmic portal we're in, the lower third is going away simply because the karma is coming. Do you guys notice how karma comes quick and swift now? When Charlie was shot, he was literally, someone asked him a question, what percentage of, talking about gun violence, and he said, are we talking about, what did he say? He said, are we talking about just gun violence or gang violence included? Talking about, you guys know what I'm talking about. I'm in quantum speed here. And literally, right when he said that, he got shot. So when I use karma, I'm not using it as a bad thing. You guys got to stop thinking it's a bad thing. Karma is the only way we can get rid of the lower third and the stagnation within our soul. There isn't any way to do that unless we come head to head with what it is that we said and felt and lived. We come head to head with it. And then we get to experience what the polarity of it, both sides. And then we can now use that energy for transcendence. That's all that karma helps us do. But people always laugh at people. Oh, you getting karma? No, karma is actually good because it helps you see yourself in the mirror. If you can never see yourself, you can never actually heal. Okay? So that is what happened. It was an instant karmic moment that was happening. But it was to show us too, guys, listen. See, these elites have given us a key code because this, so to speak, false shooter, that ain't the real shooter. I got the name of the person who actually is involved, and I will tell you in a moment. But this false shooter was supposed to be MAGA and all of that. They're trying to tell you that both sides of the coin are dirty. Because remember, Charlie spent a lot of time talking about the left. And even after his passing, people were online talking about the left did this. They even threatened black colleges, even though he was in Utah. There ain't even really no black people in Utah unless I move there. But I'm just saying that literally they blamed everyone else, but they could never foresee and see themselves in the mirror. That's why they picked this dude and said it's a plot twist because you were expecting for it to be someone on the left. But they chose an avatar of someone on the right because they are showing you that Esau is looking in the mirror at its reflection. This is what it is. None of this stuff is real, guys. All of it is to point you to your expansion. All of it is to point you to the codes of the game of the Matrix. That is what all of this is. And within the Epstein files, it's just the cast members of this stage play that we're in. And Charlie was about to out the cast members. He was getting too close to goal. Like him or hate him, he was getting too close when he started tapping on that and tapping. He was even start to tap on the Israel lie. You can't make it up. And he starts to question, why do we give them all this funding? What did I say? That they will pull out of the Israel lie. This is what he was tapping into. So now where am I? The funeral I saw was like Trump, but yet it was for Charlie. It was weird. These two are in the same field. And like I said, what I'm getting a sneaky, energetic suspicion is that they were like, okay, you want to play in our field, you know, Trump, the people that this is a whole network. It's not just the person you see. It's a whole network. You want to play in the field, Charlie? Okay. You can be my energetic shield. That's what he was. Sacrificial lamb. And then what happens when your energetic shield? At first, it was saying all the right things to keep you shielded, keeping everyone confused and fighting over his rhetoric. But then when he switched and started to try to play in your sandbox, talking about the Israel and the Ep files, oh no, we got to get rid of this shield because in any moment, this shield will turn around and face me and look at me in the eyes and in the mirror and see the truth. So it now becomes, what will he do to me when he finally turns around and looks directly at me in the eye? They had to get rid of him. He was too close to goal. It's what I am knowing. Source just ain't never lied. Okay? So now, the funeral I saw was very presidential. I'm talking, they will roll out the red carpet. So much so, I saw literally the casket going into the back of the black vehicle. I saw all the people, all the actors in place in mourning. And I'm not saying that they're not actually in mourning, but we're going to get back to his consciousness and why it's in a dog, why it's being separated, why is it still here? What are they doing? Did they take him to the underground Hollywood facility? Which underneath those tunnels in Hollywood, actually, there's an entrance to the underworld. We're going to get back to that. But what I'm saying, this funeral will be, they will run, the red carpet will be rolled out. I am telling you this. You will think the president himself died, because maybe he did. That just came through. Maybe he did. It will not be of me, source is saying. It will only be to uphold the lie. Everyone's in on it. Even his beloved wife is playing her role. And I'm not saying she's not in mourning, but I'm saying she knows more than what we think. And maybe it's because Esau's looking at itself in the mirror. So maybe the consciousness is just heightened during this time. You can't make this up. I don't know where I would have gotten this from. But what I'm telling you guys is that Esau and Jacob, in order for us to make it to the new energy field, the new earth, the new expanded consciousness, Esau and Jacob can no longer be enemies in the womb because we're going to use that for the birthing. They will be birthed again, but this time they are to be birthed whole and not fragmented. Because in a way, a twin is a fragmentation of yourself. So they have to come back into wholeness. And this is why we see this is chaotic. So what they're ringing the alarm. Hey, it's not just the left, it's the right too. What I tell you guys, both sides are bad for business because it's a stage play. None of it is real. Is real, 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 real. Interesting. So that's what's going on. Now, there's a lot of hands into this thing. I got the name of the person who did this, and I heard it in like through my ear audibly. And it said bookman and the others. Bookman and the others. So whoever did this, people call him Bookman. Now, I believe this is a street name. All those gangsters that Charlie was talking about, well, he didn't know that he had goons and gangsters within his own group of people. They are the biggest gangsters. And it's worse when they're hidden because you don't see their hand. You never see it coming. Bookman and the other. So I believe there was Bookman. I believe this is his street name, not his birth name. It's what they called him. He is trained in execution style. Can I say that? Merkin. He could be military background. Okay. And there's up to, not limited to 3 others, but at least 3 others. Because if you watch the footage of him actually being shot right before, there's some very interesting things happening in the background. It looks like a signal was given. There was a guy in a white hat that's like start tugging on his hat. I noticed he backed up a little bit and like started to film Charlie at that moment in time. And then the other guy, like some sort of bodyguard in glasses, was doing some weird thing with his hand. These look like signals to me. This just didn't look like, it's like what a coincidence that you're doing that right before. And even the person, I don't even know. I can't even say that, but maybe even the person, it's all staged. So this, whatever little man they found, that ain't it. That little Tyler suspect guy, not it. Not it. Decoy for sure. Do you notice how when all of these shootings happen, remember the Boston bomber? How come we never hear anything else about these people? They're all working for the GOV. It's all a stage. We're just actors here, guys. They're the main characters, right? And we all the extras. That's what they think we are, the extras. And the moment you want to get into main character energy, that's what Charlie was doing. He was getting too close. They was like, oh no, you need to know your place. You are an extra at best, sir. So also what I was channeling is that the Charlie crossed the code of conduct. He was no longer in the code of conduct because remember, he was energetically not only just in Trump's field, but his energetic shield. So if something was to happen to Trump, he was the one that was always going to take the energetic bullet. This was always going to happen. So now let's go ahead and also Kim Jong Un comes up as well. So this thing was, what I'm saying is you guys have to, like I said, I don't know how else more to say. I can say this. Everyone's in on it. Every country, every nation, every person you ever thought that you looked up to, every celebrity of stature, they're all actors on the world stage. There's nothing more to say. But we have to know that. So none of this stuff matters. The only thing that matters is us healing the templates, coming back together, and expanding our butt off of this dying energy. That's it. But they keep us divided. So now I want to tap in. I'm going to get why is Charlie's consciousness. Oop, I just my knuckle just cracked. See? Why is Charlie's consciousness being separated from his body? Why is he still in bondage here? Is his soul in bondage? See, cuz y'all got to understand. See, sometimes you just answer your own questions, really. Because he was getting too close. See, what these people do, guys, they don't give you a peaceful death. They never give you a peaceful death. I saw the same thing happen to Michael Jackson. They have been tinkering around with him. I saw at one point they put Michael Jackson consciousness in some sort of half dog, half whatever. And this was just to torment him. Because when they have your consciousness, they can just swap it into different avatars. And this is what we are about to do as humanity. We're going to have our full consciousness. We're going to get an updated avatar for the new earth because the new earth has a new energy field. There's not going to be sickness. These old bodies, so whether we get updated codes or an actually new avatar that looks like us, but it's just more high quality, it is a consciousness transfer. This thing is more sci-fi than you will ever believe. It's always been like this, and now we are seeing it play out in real time. So let me check on what they're doing with Charlie's consciousness. Mimboro takara shindereta. Himbanireta kiniranieta. Himborottanirete hinna. Humborota shanirete. Himborata kirirande shanireta. Limborata hinanireta kininandeta. La lireta kinande shinderambunireta. Kananireta hinnerambunireta. Boboreta shanireta. Mimborata karashanireta. Tatakanamborata shanireta hinarata. It's in a dream state right now. It's very blurry for him wherever his consciousness is. It is very blurry. It's hard for him to see and to navigate, right? Mambwana hanire shinaratakara. Mimburene shinane shanetaknerata. Himburatani shinarandirataknereta. Mamburu shuniratakina. Baniretakinane shanereta. Lots of energy here. Lots and lots of energy here. Hinaratakani shanieta. Lambona hani shanieta. There's water. I hear little drops of water. Something weird, guys. Something freaking strange. It's like the vibe I'm getting when when someone, like, let's say you just kidnap someone and you want them to tell you there's who did it. You want to interrogate them. And then they refuse to talk. Charlie refused to talk. And then they put them in this dark cell. And there might be a leaky faucet somewhere just leaking down drips of water. And then you can't see because they got the blindfold on you, like execution style. Like that's the energy field that I'm picking up on. So he can't see. At the same time, he has this thing restraining him from picking at the wound, but also separating, elongating this, separating head from body, almost in preparation of. See, Source said in the beginning this was going to get dark. And that is what I'm seeing. This is getting very dark. What are they doing with his brain? Lord, Lord. Oh no. I am hearing that his brain is a delicacy. That's what I'm hearing. Hold on, y'all. This is getting weird. No, this is even too weird for me. Like, let that not be the case. Hold on. Mm-hmm. They've definitely siphoned the consciousness, the brain power, and it's like It's just this energy of like, it's like that dream state where it's just like, that's what I'm seeing. So much wavy energy, not being able to totally see, but you know something is off in the distance, but you can't see it yet. There has been an extraction. I'm going to go ahead and say that. There has been an extraction. I don't feel that his consciousness is attuned to wherever it's supposed to be or go yet. It's kind of being held in some sort of wavy pattern or like wavy energy bubble of some sort. His consciousness is in waiting. His consciousness is in waiting. Source ain't just never lied. I'm telling you, I'm about to cry from what I'm seeing and viewing. His consciousness is in waiting. Oh my God, this is horrible. Mira la shineta bambuachata. Himurata krashne. Minande hene shene. Was he shot on the right side or left side, guys? I mean, a lot of energy here. Hmm. Right or left side? I think this is important for us to know. Was he shot on the right or left side? Someone please tell me. It's the same energy I told you guys. Last year, we've been putting the codes together. See? No evil. Hear no evil. Trump's ear. Charlie, speak no evil. So now my question is who's the eyes? If we have the hear no evil, we have the trump, and then we have the speak no evil, then who's the see no evil? This is crazy. What side was he shot on? I'm trying to look it up, but I can't find it. What ear did Trump get shot on, in, on, or nearby? His Trump was right ear. I think that's what it says. Someone please tell me what side of the neck was Charlie Kirk shot on. We're putting codes together. I want to stay in the channeling energy. I don't want to lose the connection, but if somebody can look that up and let me know what side he was shot on. Some are saying that he was shot from behind, making us believe that it was from the front. Okay. That's very interesting too, because it was what I see here is from behind. That's what I'm getting. See here? That little X, that's the back of his neck. That's what I'm getting. So that's very interesting if that's the case, but what we're putting together here is a whole message. Like I said, two elites are fighting and they're putting out a esoteric broadcast. You won't pick it up. We're not on that frequency, so they thought. But for the ones in the know, for the ones in the club, they're broadcasting a message to each other. And I think what we're tapping into is some of the brotherly priesthood rules of their system, of their Masonic order. I think within that, I think what we're picking up on is the law of what they go by: see no evil, speak no evil, hear no evil. So nothing that they do can ever be seen, heard, or uttered. That way, it makes their Masonic order totally private and secret. This is what we're picking up on. And I think Charlie was going against that. Like I said, he was too close to goal. And they have him in bondage. Charlie is in bondage. And I'm sorry. And I know what the world saw. But see, spirit ain't just never lied. What does spirit say? When did I tell you guys? Because I teach a class on how to do all of this that I do. So, what spirit reminds us is that you can trust only half of what you see, right? Half of what you hear. There's other layerings to finding out. You have to peel back the energy and go through the process of the psychic investigation to know the truth, because these eyes, they've cast so many illusions on us and spells with their spell casting in Hollywood that you won't even know. They do it. Hollywood within itself, I used to work in Hollywood, I know, is a whole illusion. Even the fact that when you see something on Hollywood, it looks big, and even the actors look tall, but they're not. They're all short and microscopic. And sometimes we're shooting on a board. It looks like we're actually on a real scene, but it's not. They're just shooting down on the board, casting illusions, and we are believing it. It's a camera trick. Our right side, his left, huh? ChatGPT says he was shot on the left side. Okay, interesting. That's interesting. So if he was shot on the left side and Trump was shot in the right side, what is it trying to tell you? What did I say? You can't make it up. You can't make this up. Both right and left are two sides of the same coin. There isn't any difference. Because the irony is that Charlie spoke about the left wing people, but the shooter was supposed to be right wing. So that ideal falls flat. They're trying to tell you that both sides are the same. I want to tap back into this consciousness. There was just so much energy here, and just see, Lord, please don't let them be eating this man's brain. Oh, Lord, please. I am telling you, these people are freaking sick. Mind you, the consciousness is extracted, but I'm talking about what I saw. Please don't let that be the case. Please don't let that be the case. I am telling you, these people are sick. Mm. Mindera shumbarata. Non brutto carane scinnere andetti hinnanduneta. Hinnanandetti knambandi di scinembonna. Punneretta kinnere shaniretta. Nanketa. Na shandi hishimbune shinambaneta. Okay, so I'm synced in right now to Arnold. Arnold. It's Arnold. Who's Arnold? Who's Arnold? Does it have anything to do with Arnold Schwarzenegger, maybe? He used to be governor. I don't know, but I'm synced into Charlie's Heartfield right now. 1 second. And it is that rocking thing he has me doing again. Remember, he has autistic tendencies because he's so smart. He has to do these little things to, to kind of temper himself, and he has a lot of energy. So I'm tapped into that once again. Mm. Something going on with the heart, like the massage, like either the heart needs a massage or it's like he's holding his heart and he's rocking back and forth. It feels like that. Very much, I mean, guys, you can't make this up. It's very much like the channel that I got in the photo. Like he's slunched over, he's holding his heart. Because at the end, the heart is the only thing that matters. His heart is wounded. Charlie's heart is wounded for how he went out. Thank you. Charlie's coming through. Charlie's heart is wounded for how he went out. I was in, he's going to speak through me. I was in alignment. I mean, I was so pristine. He has this way about him, almost this little arrogance, because he knew that he was smart. Because remember, his soul contract was about him mastering the mental plane, right? And he's saying that he was so like in alignment with his purpose. His purpose was to be magnificent here. But of course, he forgot to align it here. And so now when everything goes down, this was the only thing that he cared about because he spent so much time here that he forgot to nurture here. And he's saying, my true power I found in the end was here, my heart. But it's too late. And in a way, he feels like he let himself down and he let his family down, his wife down, children down, and even the public down. He doesn't like some of the public opinion. He'll take it, and he's very good at that. He will take it, but he doesn't like it because it goes against him being intellectual. He can't clap back and he can't debate and he can't lean into his mental body in order to circumvent this. He's left with only this. And it's almost when he's curled up like this, he's almost saying, why did I not acknowledge you sooner? And this also gives reference to God. So please, guys, miss me on, oh my God, he was a Christian. He was this. People say, how many times have you gone to church and you say, oh, they're all Christians, but yet what are they doing Monday through Saturday? He's saying this, not me. He's saying, I wish I have acknowledged this sooner because at the end of the day, God is in the heart. God is in the heart, about the heart, and it's all here. It can't be anything else than inside. He's saying he did not acknowledge his inner God. He did not acknowledge the true living God, which is within. And it's almost like, man, how smart I was, how silly and foolish I was not to acknowledge this. His mental body is beating him up because he's so smart. He's like, why didn't I know about this? Right? Why didn't I know about it? So I think in his next incarnation, it's bringing him right to where he's going to be working on in the heart. So he will now embody, not just say, oh, I'm a Christian, but will embody it more, embody the true character, right? And the true character of Christ, the energy comes from the heart, not from the mental. He wants humanity to know that the way he was presenting, the energy behind it came from his mind body, not his heart body. And of course, if he could do it again, it would come from his heart body. Okay, I'm going to ask him to show me where he is. Has me doing this weird thing with my throat. It's like a pain, I think I can feel the wound. It's like I feel like I have a cut in my throat. Oh, it hurts so bad. Oh God, it's hurting bad. Oh, okay. All right, he's allowing me to feel. Okay, and you can magnify it, Charlie. Let us know how that felt. I think it was over quick. It was like a sting and then some sort of some sort of expansion, and then a settlement. But the pain is still here. It's here. And for me, it shows up on my right. And this just may be because I'm talking to his spirit. And and typically spirit shows up on my right side. And a lot of times I'm mirroring. So it could be my right, but someone else's left. He's still in this dream state, right? He's not his consciousness. See, here's the thing. I can't tell you necessarily soul wise. Soul wise, he could very well be with God, right? He could very well be with the ancestors in the ancestral realm, but this message is all about his consciousness. His consciousness is here, and it's blurry. It's in a dream state. It's all maybe possibly waiting for implantation. And I said this before, guys, but now this is just another data point that what they do is they recycle these stars. These stars you're looking at, if you look at them, you'll see videos online and on TikTok. It'll be like stars that look like stars of the past. This is what they want to do it to him. So they're going to take his consciousness and repackage it essentially, and they treated him like a dog. When you go to put a dog down, it's like that's how he was treated like a dog. I am telling you. That is how they treated him. It's not the right, y'all. It's not about, oh, these are my people. They speak the same rhetoric or whatever. No, they tell you what you want to hear because they play into the part of you that's unhealed. They play into your traumas. They play into your ancestral lineage trauma. They play into the, what do they call it? Like the guilt that you have. And then they play into the, you not feeling, you're not feeling good about who you are. It doesn't matter where you find yourself, what color in the crayon box you are. They use every ounce against us for their agenda, and they never want you to see it, hear it, or speak of it, utter it. He can't see yet, but he can still communicate. He's still sharp, but he can't see. This consciousness is in waiting. It's imagine you preserving a brain in water, or something. Imagine, and obviously the brain is separate from the consciousness, but the consciousness is wavy. I see piercing light. I see light. So the consciousness has light around it, but it's blurry because it needs a body and then it needs the eyes to go ahead and to reflect the consciousness, and it needs the new brain to work together to now reflect what the brain is picking up on through the eye lenses and all of that. So the body is a very important component to operating consciousness. You have to have a body. I don't see he has a body yet, but the consciousness has been set aside, is what I'm saying. Now, have they extracted all of the consciousness? I don't know. I see Charlie's hands like this, covering his head. That's what I just saw. Yep. And it's making an X, but it's covering his head. So it's definitely just another confirmation that that part has been taken. So just know, I don't know if they'll do an open sort of casket, but just know this. That brain has been removed. And they can do all sorts of things to pack stuff in there and still make him look presentable. But I am telling you, they have that because even in death, when you take these oaths with these people, even in death, they own you. So that's why people can't get out of these contracts and, Illuminati and all that stuff. They own you after death, is what I am saying. And what I am telling you about his consciousness is that after death, he's being tortured. Because if your consciousness is split from the soul and the spirit, because the fragmentation, we can't leave pieces behind. We have to ascend as a whole. If there's a part of yourself that's trapped back here, then it means you're going to come back because you got to come back to retrieve all pieces. But this is what they do. This is the game they run on us. And unfortunately, Charlie was caught up in this game, and he was young when he started this. They used his innocence of the youth and his ignorance of him being a youth, even though he spoke to the youth, in some way they were still viewing him as the youth, and they use his ignorance against him. And I speak of ignorance as of not being aware of certain things. Hmm. Mm, mm, mm. This is a shame. It's a shame. I'm sorry, Ryan. I'm sorry, Ryan, that you don't believe this nonsense. But unfortunately, your whole life is a lie. Everything you've been told since birth is a lie. It is. I haven't been wrong yet, Ryan. Check my track record. Men lie, women lie, spirit Ryan don't ever lie. Never. I can't make this up. There's no way. I'm not even drawing a person. I'm just doing my automatic writing. I didn't know what I was drawing. There isn't any way to make something this elaborate up. Like, I'm hoping that it's not true, but unfortunately, these are the codes. Sorry. Another thing I saw, this could be related but unrelated, is that I see ground starting to break open. I'm talking, I think that graves, the ground where the people are buried will start to come up. Not necessarily the caskets, but the ground itself starts to move. You guys watch what I say. You will get reports of literally in grave sites, the ground moving. I think that the people that are buried are getting ready to ascend. That's another thing that was coming through last night. This Charlie thing is much bigger because what it does is it puts us on the timeline where we get out of here. Because the fracture, he created a fracture in their system. And what did I tell you? In the other video, Trump was showing me, it was like it was a ship. And Charlie took out a whole floorboard, like a big hole in the bottom of the ship. Because he was, look at me. Look what I can do. I can break down. I know what's going on in Israel, and I know what's going on with the Ep files. Look at me. And he removed something that they didn't want to get up because it's see no evil, hear no evil, and speak no evil. That's Masonic order. But Charlie didn't know that because what he was playing checkers. He just wanted to be seen and chosen, right? For the position. So, guys, this is what I'm saying, that he created a fracture in this game, this stage play we're all in. And I think that this thing incites the rollout of the Israel lie falling down. I know that it does. And then the market crash, which now actually leads into the new world. So we're pushing more into that one world currency era and all of that. It's pushing time along. And remember what Trump said? We needed more time. He was talking about time. See, Source just ain't never lied. Source ain't never lied. Yeah. So there it is. I don't know what else to say. And I didn't say this is what Charlie said. So don't get mad at me, Ryan. Go get mad at Charlie because this is his energy. That's just what it is. So I'm sure there's a lot more I can say, but I'm so happy that we got into some templates today. So this whole time, and I said, remember, Trump is going to allow us to go back and revisit the race template because it's something that humanity has not healed from yet. And he has allowed us to do that. And I have to bring this. So I have to, in this season, we will be talking a lot more about race because Source told me there's a very powerful healing within our two bloodlines, what we call Black people and white people. We actually come from one same source and genetic code. And Source gave me a whole teaching on why the differences, the perceived differences are playing out. But we're all just mirrors of each other. And that is going to be an interesting video because we have to move past this because we see what happened. It actually ended in death. So this is another lesson. It's telling you that you fighting right wing, left wing, black or white, Hispanic immigrants, natural born citizens it doesn't get you anywhere. See, the same way they have codes, we got to pick up on the codes or we're going to be stuck in the fishbowl forever. Ryan, Ryan. All right, guys. Um, I'm in the comments really quickly. Let me go ahead and read this really quickly. Um, higher ups marked him. The people, yep, absolutely. Yeah. They told him not to talk. Absolutely. They warned him a year ago. Okay. Spirit don't lie, right? Think it was his head. Yep. Feed is slow. Will anyone else respond to my question? What was her question? Sorry, I was into the conscious channeling and I didn't want to break it by reading into the comments. Oh, she was just asking what's happening. Yeah, we were talking about the Charlie's Kirk's consciousness being transferred out. And where do they do this? It's the same playbook. It's literally the underground Hollywood facility. I did a whole bunch of videos on that. They do that consciousness switch out all the time. So this is nothing new. Hollywood's been doing this forever. Nothing new under the sun. Someone's contact the aliens. Another video. Charlie's energy for I want to thank you, Charlie. Even though Charlie, I don't really like a lot of the stuff you said, but I have a deep respect for you as a soul. And he's very articulate, even though he wasn't like he the first reading I really couldn't get in there because it was the speak no evil on all of that. And he wanted to make sure his family is safe. So now his energy is a little bit more talkative. So I thank you for being present here. I have respect for your soul and may God bless you. May Source bless you and put the fragmentation back together. And I'm going to disconnect from your energy as we walk together in divine love. That was a lot. That pissed me off. My heart is pounding. That pissed me off so bad because when you do this work, guys, it's not about like you not liking someone. That's earth stuff. We can I can be in rooms with people who disagree. I have friends who like is in love with him. And I could think he's a total asshole and prick, but guess what? I could still find other common ground with these people. You know what I mean? And it's not going to make me love you less just because we think differently. This is the whole point, guys. We can think differently. We can have our different views, but what ties it all together is heart. This is what Charlie is saying. If he would have known how magnificent his heart was, he's very intellectual. And what he's saying is, wow, this heart thing is much bigger than even the brain. How come I didn't know this? And in a way, because he's so smart, he's like, dang, kicking myself. I didn't look here. I didn't feel here. And so he's reminding us to feel here and do everything from the heart. And if we do that, we can put the fractures back together. I have deep respect for your soul coming through today, Charlie, and allowing me to feel the impact of the shot. It actually was a shot. I felt it. So it was a shot. I don't know if it came through the back. Like my photo actually does kind of point towards the back of the neck. You know, so I'm not too keen on that, but it was in the neck. And thank you so much. Your soul, I like respectfully thank you for being here, but um it really pissed me off. Like, guys, it's like you enslaved on the earth school, you enslaved and through your birth certificate, you enslaved on your jobs, you enslaved to the different family members you took the soul contract with, you enslaved to entities that your fifth generational grandmother took a contract with, and then they can't even let you die. Now, if you take a Masonic order, you enslaved in the afterlife. We got to change this. That is where we should be fighting. So, getting through the race templates, getting through the karmic template, the karmic portals, which allows us to mirror, to see ourselves in the mirror so that we can heal. Getting through these massive templates is how we're going to come back into oneness because we can't get to New Earth because it's an individual ascension and a collective rising. So that is where all of our intentions need to be. And if we just go through the heart and do everything from the heart lamp, which is the Christ, we're going to be fine. And that's what his soul has taught us here today. Thank you, guys. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I don't think, someone says, I don't think the Civil Rights Act was a huge mistake like Charlie Kirk, and the majority of Americans don't believe in racial segregation, but acts like this are never the answer. Absolutely. It's a shame that you said that you really don't like things he said because this just proves to me you're a fraud. Well, I'm just going to be honest with you. I used to watch Charlie a few years ago. See, right there, are you part of the Matrix, Stray Beautiful? That's the whole point I'm trying to make. I don't have to. I have my own mind. I have my own consciousness. Let me give you a school. Let me school you about this game of consciousness. You know, consciousness is one of my favorite things to talk about. Let me school you. Classes in session. We don't have, we should, listen, I don't want you guys to come in here and agree with everything I say because you are you. I am me. I have my own experiences. I have my own characteristics, but I can listen to him and not be triggered because he has the right to believe what he wants to. And if he has that right, and guess what? I got that same right. And we can agree to disagree. This is what actually Charlie actually preached. He was a master at debating. See, a lot of the stuff he would do, I understand it as he was triggering people because this is how you win the debate. This is how his social media blew up. It's bigger than what you think or your feelings. This is why all of this is happening because you are not perched in consciousness, Stray Beautiful. Seriously, respectfully. Not really, but thank you. You know, I have fun. I have fun here. I'm just saying, is no love lost, honestly. But what I'm saying is he had to exacerbate some of those things because that's how he wins his debates. I know that. All of this is still acting. I come from Hollywood. I used to be a producer. I know what this is. I'm not confused about what Charlie was. Was Charlie actually standing on what he believes? Yes. But now after death, Charlie's views are slightly different because he saw in the mirror when you can see the other part of yourself. And I am tapped into his heart field. Me and Charlie we have become one in this moment to deliver this message. There ain't no love lost here. There's only love to gain. That's the whole point of his message that I'm reading into now. Because you're still here in the mental field when you should be in the heart. You're gonna be back here. You're gonna be recycled. You'll be back, and you'll be searching for someone like me to help you. Message. And Charlie was a once in a lifetime icon racist. Thank you, Stray. Beautiful. No, she didn't say that. I'm just saying. Do you see people like this? Lord, I was about to get off this thing, but see, Stray, you done just made me perk up. And I'm excited to get into this. See, these are people like this. This is the whole point of what we were saying. The left and the right are both dirty. That we've already, you need to go back and rewatch this thing. I don't have to like when he's talking about black women. I don't gotta like when he's saying that if he's going on a plane, he wonders if the black pilots can actually fly the joint. I'm sorry, I'm a black woman. Don't get it confused. I'm a black woman. What you think I'm gonna feel about that? But there's other things that I do agree with him on. And even if I agreed with nothing he said, this didn't have the right for someone to do this to him. And when we can have respect for each other's differences, this is what actually makes humanity special. This is what actually will make the true America, America. But the heart is gone. And that's the whole point. Go play in the sandbox. This is a grown-ups game over here. You're not ready for it. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Y'all need to rewind this. Stray Beautiful got some lessons here. I love clapping back at people. See, I think I'm tapping into some of my Charlie energy because he's really equipped here in the mind, and I'm really equipped in this game of consciousness. So I think I'm tapping in. But let me remind myself to do everything from the heart. So that was I'm just poking fun at you, Stray Beautiful. I really am. You respectfully, you can view him as an icon, but a lot of the things that he said was purposely divisive for clicks and views, but because it's Hollywood, guys. And this stuff is not real. I don't know how else can I tell y'all this stuff is all fake. I don't know how. I have no I don't know what else to say. It's not real. We're watching a stage play. But Charlie did get real. When he started talking about Israel and he started talking about the F-files and he was getting too close and he got real. And when Charlie went off script, Stray Beautiful, when he went off script, he got clipped. When Charlie went off script, off of the Masonic order, see no evil, hear no evil, speak no evil. When he went off script, he got clipped. This is you can't even make this up. Bars. Who knew I could find bars in the middle of this, you know? Just saying. Just saying. Karen, I don't have a large platform. I got 6,000 subscribers. I can say whatever I want. No. Yeah, and I'm saying out of responsibility, yes. You're not gonna agree with every single thing someone says. Are you a carbon copy of them? No. Life wasn't meant to be that way. But we can respectfully agree to disagree. That's not the point about what he said. The whole point is that when he got too real, they got rid of him. And this is a direct move to take away our freedom of speech. This is a much larger conversation happening, and you guys are focusing on the toys in the sand. You guys aren't ready for this channel. Please, you're not ready for this, because I'm not going to coddle you. I'm not here for that, because that doesn't lead to growth and expansion. What you have to know is that souls need friction in order to grow. It's the only way forward. And right now, the karmic portal is open. And what that is, it's saying that everyone will have a chance in this season to see themselves in the mirror for who they really are. And what is the reflection? What are we basing the reflection off of? The heart. That was the point. Charlie got to see himself. And when he saw himself and saw how beautiful and how massive the Heartfield was, he said, wow, I wish I would have paid attention to this. And I wish I would have based a lot of my messages right from here and not from the mental plane. You got to go back to all the videos. I can't catch you up in all of this. Yeah. Yeah. So Charlie, it doesn't matter what race you are, you should be heard. Yeah. But I don't have to agree with everything. I don't. And you don't have to agree with everything. You don't have to. Here's the problem. And the fact that I have to tell y'all this, I'm kind of wondering if we got some bots in here. I think y'all bots. You a bot? You a bot, Stray? You might be a bot. I think we got some bots in here. Charlie was a once in a life icon. Charlie was a once in a life icon. That's what they want you. So, and we got a lot of people, especially these black conservatives, right? I'm a conservative, but I don't have to agree with everything. That's the difference. They want you in these pockets. They want to place you somewhere. When you start coloring outside of the lines, that's where you become dangerous, right? So if they can place you in the box, then they can have people and all these celebrity cast members that are in the EP files watch over you. When you sing their songs, you watch their movies and all of that. They're keeping you in that box. What I'm saying is it's not a one size fits all. I can be conservative about some things and I can be liberal about other things. I don't have to put the energy on blanketed if something don't feel right in my spirit. Because remember, you're going to filter everyone's message through your own DNA. Charlie has a message, right? And now the listeners are filtering Charlie's message through their own DNA, through their own trauma, through their own codes that are unhealed, and through the things that they know intellectually. And all of this computes and spits out whether you feel that it is good or bad. So the very thing that you think that we don't have the same codes, I'm filtering it through my own codes. You're filtering it through your codes. We should be coming up with something different. If we're coming up with the same thing, then we're probably recycled bots in the matrix. That's what I'm saying. I'm an individual. And I thought that's what he fought for. If I could be wrong. But no, I don't have to agree with everything that he says. I agree with some things and some things I don't. And that's okay. Because I'm not a bot. I'm not a matrix bot. I'm a soul essence being. And I hope you are too. I do. I hope you are too. Angel of Light. Angel of Light. I'm not saying that you're a bot. I was talking about who do you call it? The bot that came in here, Stray Beautiful. What I'm saying is this to you guys is we can agree to disagree. It doesn't matter. And I love that you bought the book because the book is not about me. The book is about you getting the knowledge. I love that. But I'm not going to be held down in shackles because someone bought a product from me or had a session. Because now that basically muddles me and I become just like everyone else. What makes me, I think, special here is that I'm unfiltered. The moment I start filtering to feed into someone else's ideology about what it is that I should be, then I lost Tahirah. See, Charlie's teaching us a lot of things. The responsibility I have is to the source codes. The responsibility I have is to speak truth. The responsibility that Charlie Soule has had was to speak truth, even if it would cost him his life. And he actually said that. He said that sometimes there needs to be a little gun violence. He said these things. So I'm actually more in alignment with Charlie than you guys even think. I agree with the totality of the picture. I agree with the freedom of speech. I agree with outing the Israel lie and all of that. I agree with those things. But I'm sorry. I'm not going to agree with Charlie talking bad about Black women when I am a whole Black woman. I like Candace, but I'm not that. I'm cut of a different cloth, baby. This is a certified Black woman that you on the channel. I don't know if you guys know that. I am a Black woman. And what he said about Black people is highly offensive. And that I will not apologize for. Because I will never apologize for who I am. And so this is the problem that we have, guys. Do you see how this Charlie incident is inciting things inside of us? This is good. That's what it's not about Charlie. I don't know how else many ways I can say this. And I love the fact that I can get on a rant because I never can do that. And I love it so much. Thank you. Mind you, I'm not taking any of this too seriously, but I am going to stand up for who I am the same way he did. I have the right to do that as well. And you have the right, and you have the right to be heard. And I appreciate your words here today. But here's the thing. This ain't about Charlie, and it ain't about you. And it certainly ain't about me. Keep in Masonic order. I will never do their bidding. That's not what channel you came in here for. You came in here for truth. And just like Charlie, I will speak this truth, and to the day that I transcend my consciousness into a higher plane of existence. But the point is, Charlie is part of the karmic portal that's opened up so that we can finally face each other and see each other for who we are. And we were looking into each other's eyes, our own eyes, the reflection. And within this soul, seeing soul to soul, is how we heal the source codes, the pain and trauma. There's a lot of trauma in these race templates. And I see a lot of people are triggered by this. And this is why you're triggered by what I'm saying, because in truth, Charlie stands for a lot about white is right. He stands for about, being a purist, when it comes to being American. And if you're not of a certain cloth, then you're not pure. You're not purebred. That's a lot of things. Like we have to be honest. And that's a lot of the reason why people liked him. And even at a point, like I said, I used to watch his stuff all the time. But I grew and I evolved. And as I evolved through the heart lamp, it started to, he just never showed up in my field anymore. When you evolve, the people around you will not show up in your field. So when people leave your life, that's good. That means that you are growing and expanding if you're staying on the authentic path. His path led him to where it led him, but make no mistake, he was authentic until his last breath. He did exactly what he wanted to do, and I respect that, even though I didn't like some of the things, but all of the things wasn't bad. A lot of the things he said was true, and I can get down with that. But I'm an individual, and I can think for myself as well. And we should all be thinking for ourselves And we should all be looking in the mirror right now, looking within our own reflection. And this is, and the reflection we're looking at with me and you, Angel of Light, and me and you, Stray Beautiful, what we're looking at, we're gonna learn something today. I was gonna do this in a separate video, but we're gonna learn something today. What we are looking at is part of ourselves that we don't like, myself included. Because if you get agitated by someone else's energy, there's a part of that energy that either you don't agree with because there's some part of you that is holding on to those codes. And maybe you need to see this reflection, and maybe I need to see this reflection. But the only way we heal is by seeing both sides, coming into the middle, not through just fakeness, but through real soul experience. And we can have a soul experience right now. And we can say that every soul is sovereign and every soul deserves the right to be what it is that is within their soul contract. I am operating within my soul's contract and mission. Charlie was operating within his soul's contract and mission. Both different, but nevertheless, both operating to the highest caliber of our soul's mission. And that's all I can hope for humanity. And when you just take this blanketed way of looking at things, that, oh, he's a conservative, he's a Christian. Well, I'm a conservative and Christian, so I must have to believe in everything he said. No, you don't. Because you are your own authentic code. And you just have to hold the highest vibration of your soul's contract to be here. And if we all do that, the pieces will fit together naturally. Okay? I think I've said it. I think I've said it. All right, guys. I think that's it. I love you guys to the moon and back. And go ahead and subscribe to the channel, like the video, and all that stuff. And you guys will look. I want you to go back and look at some of his videos, and I want you to write down how you feel. Close your eyes and write down how you truly feel, because if you agree with some of those things, then there's something within your heart that needs to be healed. What I'm saying is, and like Charlie said, it wasn't what he said, what he told me, and this is coming from Charlie, it's how he said it, his heart posture. He wanted to now say it from love. If he could change anything, he said he would say it still, but he would do it out of love. So if he's talking about, transgender, he would do it out of love, maybe for their safety, maybe for them needing, to be understood, to not feel the need to change themselves, and to maybe get them help first, just to navigate some of the things that they're going through. You know what I mean? If you're doing it out of the care for someone else and you're speaking truth, no one can fault you when it comes from the heart. These are Charlie's words. He's saying if he could change one thing, that's what it would be. So I want you guys to listen to things that trigger you. Write down how you feel. Where in the body do you have an emotional reaction? Because there's some part of you that is in alignment with some of these things. And that's the part that will not let you evolve. It can't, because the right and left are both playing you. We are infinite souls and we are all interconnected. And love is the common thread that ties us all together. So what Charlie is teaching us, it's showing us where the weak spots within our own heart and field is. And so I can thank his soul for showing me my weak spots. Okay? Love you guys. Bye.